Okay, so we all know what's coming up this weekend. It's the Super Bowl. It's Super Bowl weekend. Everyone is looking forward to the big game when the Chiefs are going to play the Eagles. But I thought it might be fun to just look back at the past 10 Super Bowls and just rank them. So here I've whipped out a ye old tier list, and we're going to rank the top 10 Super Bowls over the last 10 years. Super Bowl 47. So 10 years ago, the Ravens and the Niners played in the Super Bowl in a very entertaining game. You had Jim Harbaugh and the 49ers on one side and John Harbaugh and the Ravens on the other side. So we got the Harbaugh Bowl, and I guess the media tried to make something out of that. We also had the ascending Colin Kaepernick and Joe Flacco, and also you had Ray Lewis's last game. So would the Ravens led by Ed Reed and Ray Lewis go out with a bang, or would the upstart 49ers cement themselves as a dynasty? Well, the game pretty early on looked like the Ravens were gonna absolutely run away with it because they clobbered the 49ers for almost the entire game. But this Super Bowl has something that none others have, and that is a technical difficulty. Or was it? No, the Super Bowl was super weird because the lights actually went out in the entire stadium, stopping the Ravens' entire momentum push. And the split second that the lights went out, everything went in the 49ers' favor, turning a supposed horrible and boring Super Bowl into a thriller. The Niners just kept on scoring over and over again, and the Ravens were starting to panic. And besides a Jacoby Jones kick return for a touchdown to start the third quarter and a couple Justin Tucker field goals, the Ravens couldn't do anything to get points on the board. Yeah, Justin Tucker was actually on this team from 10 years ago. But this Super Bowl is great because we actually got an intense final drive as Colin Kaepernick led the 49ers down the field, and in a do-or-die situation, the Ravens came up clutch and stopped the 49ers. A semi-controversial ending, I guess, because some people say that this was a penalty, but I don't really know if you call that there on the last play of the game in the Super Bowl. Overall, amazing game. I'll put it in A tier though, because I think there's going to be better ones ahead, but I could be wrong. Super Bowl 48. The most disappointing Super Bowl, actually maybe NFL game that I've ever watched with my own two eyes by a gargantuan amount. The storyline going into this Super Bowl was the best offense in the league, the best offense ever with the Denver Broncos led by Peyton Manning, and the best defense in the league with the Legion of Boom. Yeah, I'm not gonna stall anymore. On the first play of the game, the snap went right over Peyton Manning's head, and the game ended right there. The Seahawks offense for the first quarter was running on glue, but after Marshawn Lynch got some things going, yeah, the Broncos had no chance. The Seahawks scored 12 seconds in the first half and the second half, 12th man thing, yada yada, yeah, it wasn't close. A definite F tier. It doesn't get any worse than that. We'll get into that later. So we go straight from that Super Bowl to possibly the best Super Bowl ever played. Super Bowl 49 between the New England Patriots and the Seahawks again, but this time the Seahawks actually had a worthy opponent. Tom Brady and the New England Patriots were back in the Super Bowl for the first time in eons, and they were ready to give the Seahawks every last ounce of their fiber of being. So yeah, Tom was back, and as for storylines, that's kind of all the Patriots had going for them, but on the Seahawks side, there was serious talks, and most people were believing at the time that the Seahawks were going to be the next dynasty of the NFL. So you had the old crumbled empire of the Patriots against the new school kids on the block with the Seahawks. Who would reign supreme and grab the crown for the future? And man, this game was perfect. Just perfect. Scoreless. In the entire first quarter, nobody scored any points, just the definition of a stalemate. Both teams just countering every move the other had to throw at them. And finally, the Patriots broke through and got a touchdown, which was then immediately answered by Marshawn Lynch and the Seahawks. And from the second quarter on, the Patriots looked unstoppable, but the Seahawks had a trump card up their sleeve, and they slammed it on the table, revealing Chris Matthews. Chris Matthews, a Foot Locker employee, took over the game for a period of time and dominated the Patriots as a nobody. Regardless, with Chris Matthews captaining this ship for Seattle, and then after another drive which ended in a Doug Baldwin touchdown, maybe Finally? Were the Patriots dead? Nope. Touchdown and then another touchdown. And the Patriots now looked like they were going to win the game. But boy, did the Seahawks have a golden opportunity to cement themselves as a dynasty. They drove down the field. Marshawn caught a good pass, and look, they're on the 1-yard line. And then they ran the ball to Marshawn Lynch, and he got a 1-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks won the Super Bowl and became a dynasty. Let's just call that the good ending. This is an S-tier Super Bowl though. Such a great watch. Okay, then we got Super Bowl 50 between the white-hot 15-1 Carolina Panthers led by MVP Cam Newton and I guess whatever membrane fibers were left of Peyton Manning. Still though, the storyline of this Super Bowl was relatively similar to the one 2 years prior where we had one of the best offenses in the league in the Panthers and the best defense in the league in the Broncos. Peyton Manning was so far removed from what he usually was, and Cam Newton just looked like he wasn't ready for the big stage yet. But yeah, there's not much to say about the Super Bowl other than just like the Seahawks won from 2 years prior, the defense just dominated and took over the game completely. Because literally in the first quarter, with the Panthers not really being able to get anything going on offense, Von Miller blew up his linemen and manhandled the ball from Cam Newton, resulting in a defensive touchdown. Seriously, prime Von Miller was just an untamed wild animal. But yeah, a lot of field goals. This has got to be a D-tier Super Bowl. Not one I would ever want to rewatch anytime soon. Super Bowl 51. Patriots. Falcons. Need I say more? You know the drill here. Pretty much everything went as perfectly according to plan for the Falcons as possible as they jumped out to a 28-3 lead over the New England Patriots. Otherwise, the biggest storyline from this game was honestly not much. I guess like Trump rooting for the Patriots was a thing, but there wasn't much to it. Anyway, after the second half began, things actually started to go the Patriots' way a little bit as the Falcons did every single thing wrong that they possibly could have. I mean, God, if you had just run the ball on every single play, the game would have been Nope, not getting mad again. I'll stop. But the Patriots just kept scoring one after the other, penalties and incomplete passes, and it looked like they were going to win the game. But people forget that the Falcons actually had a chance to win the game, and Julio Jones almost did it by himself. After being draped in coverage, Matt Ryan just hung the ball in the air, and Julio Jones somehow caught this ball. It's game over. That's all you got to do. Run the ball 3 times up the middle with Devontae Freeman and kick a field.
Holding, number 70 offense. 10-yard penalty.
And they got a holding. The only thing that could have possibly derailed you from winning this game. God damn it. You know the rest. The Patriots tie the game. It goes to overtime. They go right down the field after winning the coin toss and a game-winning touchdown. So yeah, this Super Bowl was straight out of the NFL script, and nothing like it will ever happen again. I can tell you that for sure. But I am going to grade it a little bit down just because of the blowout in the first half. Now, the second half was amazing, but the first half was just a little too much to overcome. A-tier Super Bowl for me. I'll put it over the Niners one though. Man, what a golden era of Super Bowls we had right in the late 2010s, because next we had Super Bowl 52 between the Eagles and the Patriots. The storyline here, well, the Patriots were already back as a dynasty, so they were the team to beat, but on the Eagles side, they were amazing all regular season long, but lost their MVP frontrunner quarterback in Carson Wentz, and now had, Nick Foles. So, nobody, not one person thought the Eagles had a shot in this game. But people didn't think they had a shot in Minnesota and the round before. So, if magic was going to happen, it was going to happen right now in this game. And I still can't believe this game even happened. Nick Foles actually outdueled Tom Brady and won the Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP. Now, he didn't exactly statistically outduel Tom Brady, but for most of the first half, it looked like it was all Eagles, even with Nick Foles throwing this phenomenal pass to Alshon Jeffrey for a touchdown. But the Patriots just never die. When you cut their head off, they just fall on the ground and multiply again. So they came within 3 after a James White touchdown, and the Eagles now after their drive were met with a choice. 4th down. After being stopped on 3rd down, they were faced with a 4th down play. What were they to do? Nick Foles jogs to the sideline and calls Philly Philly. So they get right back onto the field. Nick Foles with his chode just dragging on the turf. They run a reverse sweep into a throw to Nick Foles for a touchdown. But man, Tom Brady did not die. He was eviscerating the Eagles defense throughout the entire day, and at one point kept it to a 33-32 lead in favor of the Patriots. So, 2 minutes remaining, back against the wall in the fourth quarter. What would Nick Foles do? Oh, just average Nick Foles stuff, leading the Eagles straight down the field and found Zach Ertz for what would then be a game-winning touchdown. And then the Patriots had a chance to get the ball back. 2 minutes on the clock for Tom Brady with timeouts, and everyone knew what was going to happen. They were going to drive down the field and get a game-winning field goal as time expired, and the Patriots win again. Yay. Didn't happen. Brandon Graham slaughtered his lineman and hit Tom Brady, forcing a fumble. Eagles get the ball back. Game over. Or, well, a missed Hail Mary and then game over. I still can't believe this Super Bowl. Imagine that before the Super Bowl, someone told you that Nick Foles and the Eagles would win with Tom Brady throwing for 500 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no picks. But it happened. It somehow happened. And for all the crap people give the Patriots, they made some entertaining Super Bowls. That's an S tier for sure. Not this one though. Not this one at all. Super Bowl 53. Jared Goff made a Super Bowl. This was a mess of a Super Bowl. This Patriots team was so far from what they were in their prime, and the Rams, whose entire offense was entirely dependent on Sean McVay's head and Todd Gurley, just wasn't working. I guess the storyline in this game was kind of just like coaching. It was supposed to be maybe Belichick passing the torch on to the new coaching phenom in Sean McVay, but of course that didn't happen. With 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, the score was 3-3, but at the same time, it felt like the Rams had no chance. And after a Rob Gronkowski catch that shouldn't even be remembered, but in this game, it was one of the only big plays that happened, led to a Sony Michel 2-yard touchdown, the Patriots won the Super Bowl. They got another field goal and won the game 13-3. 13-3. Safe to say the Rams learned from their mistakes. I guess it was kind of watchable because it wasn't an absolute blowout, but best you're getting from me is D tier. Super Bowl 54, Chiefs versus the Niners. And this one also didn't have too much storyline, or at least in the Niners' sake, because they didn't really have that superstar player. But for the Chiefs, it was kind of just to see how far can Patrick Mahomes go this young in his career. With the Patriots gone and out of the way, maybe the Chiefs were going to be the next team to rise to the occasion and dominate the AFC for the next coming years. Yeah, that would be true. But what's very easily forgotten from this game is that for most of the game, the first 3 quarters specifically, Patrick Mahomes just looked like he was confused and nervous. The Niners defense was also elite. DeForest Buckner, Eric Armstead, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, they had guys everywhere, and it really stifled Mahomes. But these two teams were actually very evenly matched, and that was clear while watching the game. It was kind of just going to see who was going to be the spark plug that gave their team the advantage. And it turns out that guy was going to be Damian Williams. Yeah, he's still in the league today. And yeah, Damian Williams was great in running hard all game long, but the difference in the game was this one third down play where Patrick Mahomes found Tyreek Hill on the now famous Wasp play. And yeah, it turns out the Chiefs just made more plays than the Niners, as they also cost themselves on this Jimmy Garoppolo interception where I don't know what his plan was, and a missed throw from Jimmy Garoppolo to Emmanuel Sanders that if he had converted on it, they would have probably won the Super Bowl. But yeah, like I said, Damian Williams ran the ball in for 2 touchdowns, burying the 49ers in their own grave. You know, nothing super special for a Super Bowl, but it was nice to see where Patrick Mahomes' career could potentially go. I'm not feeling A, or that's B. That's B for sure. Super Bowl 55, Bucs Chiefs, one that I'm sure is still fresh in most of your minds. The storyline was very, very obvious. Patrick Mahomes, the guy who kinda grabbed the crown from Tom Brady, and Tom Brady, the GOAT who was still looking for more rings. Yes, it was obviously clear that Patrick Mahomes was the better quarterback, but this Bucs team had just about a better everything else. Elite defense, elite O-line, great run game apparently, and great wide receivers. So would the Chiefs be able to overcome this? No. The short answer is no, they were not able to. It was close early on, but a few penalties kinda just got the game out of hand. The Chiefs weren't getting touchdowns, instead field goals, and the Bucs were scoring, and they just kept scoring and piled it on over and over again on the Chiefs. The Chiefs O-line could not contain Shaq Barrett and the rest of the Bucs passing attack, and Mahomes was on the run on every play. But yeah, not a great Super Bowl. Probably better than the Patriots-Rams ones, but that's all I'll give it. Then we got the last one, last year's Super Bowl, Rams versus Bengals, and it was okay, it was alright. But I gotta say, the media was struggling to find some sort of storyline. I don't know, I guess maybe Matthew Stafford getting his first ring and leaving Detroit, but that's kind of it. I mean, this was a Bengals team that people believed just had no business even being in the Super Bowl and should just be happy to be there. And a Rams team that looked like a powerhouse all season long, looked like they were just gonna skewer the Bengals for lunch. But that did not happen, and unfortunately, this game was plagued with some ref ball, as T. Higgins' touchdown had a clear face mask, and even Cooper Kupp's holding call at the end of the game is very controversial. Regardless, it was still an intense Super Bowl all the time, and after the Bengals had a late lead, Matthew Stafford and the Rams had a chance to get a game-winning drive. Facing a 4-point deficit, with his legacy on the line, Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and the Rams offense came through. First down after first down, and the best play on the drive, Matthew Stafford stepping up in the pocket and delivering a no-look laser. But like I said, the drive was kind of spoiled by this ticky-tack holding call, but they got a touchdown, and after the Bengals got the ball back, people had already little hope, and Aaron Donald was a man-possessed, saying, "I am going to end this game on the spot," and he did, sacking Joe Burrow, ending the game, pointing to his finger, saying, "Give me that ring." So it was a fun game overall, you know. The ref ball was kinda bad at some points, but you could excuse it. I would give it a B tier for sure. Well, there we have it. The last 10 Super Bowls ranked in a tier list from S to F. Yeah, that's what I got. So I guess, how would you rank these Super Bowls? Leave it in the comments below. But anyways, if you like this style of video that I'm trying out, then please tell me in the comments, because I enjoyed making this video and I'd like to make more in the future. Anyways, until next time.